Welcome back. So, this one, now that we're basically in the home stretch for Force Awakens, and I'll obviously do more Force Awakens videos, Star Wars Episode 8 videos, and all that stuff after I see Force Awakens, because really, there's not much else to talk about with Force Awakens right now that would be prevalent to talk about 3 days from the movie. Well, let's talk a little bit about something else. Let's talk about Rogue One for a little bit. Now, the question I'm raising today is how violent, how dark is Rogue One going to be? Because it's Rogue One is detailing the rebels stealing the Death Star plans. It's a Star Wars actual war film. We haven't gotten a war film. We've not seen the dark side of the dark side of what's going on with the rebellion and the Empire throughout the entire series of Star Wars. We haven't been seeing that. So the question is, how dark are we going to get with this movie? And I think, especially seeing as I think all these Star Wars movies, or the vast majority, are going to be a PG-13, and you can go fairly dark with PG-13 these days, I think we're going to get a fairly dark movie. And I say that because I doubt half our main cast is coming back alive out of this movie. We're talking about the rebels who went to steal the original Death Star plans. This is... This is dark territory right here. This is people going in to the Empire to steal their ultimate battle station's plans to kill it, kill it dead. And guess what? I think half these characters are being killed dead. I think we're going to see. Well, first off, we're going to see a lot of Imperial. I think we're going to see a bit of espionage too, like behind the scenes stuff. Like you're going to have an inside man, and then Vader's going to sense it's like, oh, I sensed it the whole time. We're going to see some TIE Fighter X-Wing action. I'm pretty certain. We're going to see people get shot. We're going to see people get maybe even executed. But more importantly, we're going to see Vader. Vader, I can guarantee you, is going to show up at some point. And if you have Vader in there, and he's on the Death Star, and they're going to steal the plans for the Death Star, they have to go on the Death Star to do it. I'm pretty certain. Vader's going to show up, and I keep saying that the best way to introduce him would be that Darth Maul intro with them doo-doo. It just is like, you have nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. I mean, this is a terrible dialogue. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. I can't get my Vader voice down right now. Probably being people, they'll fire at me. You'll just be like, pew, pew, pew. Oh God! And then run, and he's probably going to cut down one of them, force choke another one, force push another one, maybe crush them. I doubt more than maybe 2 to 3 people are making out of that station alive, and that's at a maximum, I think. I don't think we're seeing many people making out of this alive. We know at least someone has to make it out alive, because someone has to get the plans back to the rebellion. I have a feeling we're going to see, oh God, what's her name? Oh, she's on for the movie. And I am blanking on her name. Oh, give me a second. She was in Theory Everything. She played Stephen Hawking's wife. Star Wars Rogue One. Hold on. Star Wars Rogue One. I have Star Wars Rogue One. A Star Wars Star. Okay, it was Felicity Jones. That's it. I think Felicity Jones, if anything, is going to be the one who makes it out. Of any of them, she's going to be the one that makes them out. If there's only one person that makes it, she'll be the one. Now, how violent are we going to get? Now, that's a different question entirely, because while I believe we'll see people get killed, I don't know how brutally we'll see them get killed. Because, at first, our original Star Wars, the X-Wings blew up with people in them. Porkins didn't make it out. Poor Porkins. Rest in peace. At the same time, though, I mean, we might see that. We might see people get shot. I don't think we're going to get space shots. We're going to see people get and then go down. The most violent I think we'll get is with Vader when he shows up and with a lightsaber and force. He'll just go, just choke someone out, because that's pretty impressive. And he was doing it with his bare hand too in the original series. But he'll probably be just hold someone up and then just maybe cut them down. Now, would we see a severed limb? Hard to tell. I mean, we saw that with Anakin in the episode 3 and 2, but and Luke getting his hand cut off too. Can't forget that. But I don't know if we'd see Vader going that violent. I mean, he would, but I don't think we'll see that level of violence from Vader, at least on this movie. Maybe in a different movie that utilizes Vader somehow. Because if you got Star Wars movies that aren't episode movies that you're making, and Vader's existing in a timeline, and it would make sense to have him in the movie, like if there's a Boba Fett movie and he's being hired by Vader, it would behoove oneself to have Vader in the movie at some capacity, because that put asses in the seats. But I digress on that. Actually, I don't digress on that one. Point being, though, if it is a war-based film, I mean, if it is kind of wartime, seeing the darker side of the rebellion versus the Empire, because darkest we got was kind of like with Hoth and the battle over Endor. That was about as dark as we got in terms of the actual war aspect of it. And really, the Battle of Hoth was the best interpretation of the actual war. That was just the final battle in Return of the Jedi. I think it'll be safe to say we'll get definitely some heavy sci-fi violence, but I don't think we'll get anything that's too dark that kids can't handle, and I don't think we'll get anything that's super. We're not going to get any gore or anything like that, but I don't think we'll get anything super graphic in terms of the violence and the nature of the violence we see. Whoop! Sorry, the Force. In this case, the Force is my foot. But yeah, I think, by the way, I don't think we'll see the Emperor, so no violence from him at all. We're not going to see any Jedi. At most, maybe like a Star Wars Rebels reference, but I don't think we'll get any Jedi. They've even said there will be a distinct, noticeable absence of Jedi in this movie. Now, that's not to say we might not see like a cameo from Obi-Wan, but I don't think we'll see a Jedi at all. I'm almost 99% certain we won't see a Jedi at all. Nor will we see anyone else holding, like, say, a lightsaber or anything like that. Vader is the predominant lightsaber user in the galaxy right now because he's Vader. As opposed to anything else, how dark, how violent, I think we're going to get... This is actually, I think, going to be one of the darker Star Wars films. Now, will it be the darkest? Because Empire is extremely dark in its own right. In fact, Empire is right now the darkest Star Wars is gone. Revenge of the Sith isn't even... It feels heavy, but it doesn't feel dark. Star Wars felt dark. I mean, Empire Strikes Back felt dark. This Revenge of the Sith didn't feel dark to me. It felt a little bleak. But so did Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back beats it in terms of bleakness. And it... I don't know, I just don't get a very dark feel in terms of the overall movie. Let's be clear. In terms of the overall movie, there are points in the movie that definitely go dark, like the slaying of the Jedis, or the fight on Mustafar. Those got dark for a little bit. Those got intense. But the overall, I'm talking about the overall feel of the movie from start to beginning, definitely feels bleaker, feels darker, it feels muddier in Empire Strikes Back. This just feels like an overall darker level of film than Revenge of the Sith did. And... while I don't think we're going to get that out of The Force Awakens, though I do think The Force Awakens is going to have some dark overtones. I think it's going to be a bit more dark, lighthearted. It's going to be good versus evil adventure again. Very similar to New Hope, as I've been hearing a lot of people comparing it to New Hope. Now, Episode 8, that could be The Empire Strikes Back in the new trilogy. Rogue One, the way the story is set up is in a prime position to be a very heavy and gritty, dark movie, while still being fun, obviously. But I do think we're gonna get some dark, gritty stuff. Not overly violent, but definitely some level of violence that's appropriate for the film. So that's my thoughts on that. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. So I technically have 2 more videos to do. I lied in my last video. I'm sorry. I got 2 more videos to do. I gotta talk about one trailer that popped up. I think you all know the trailer that popped up. And I gotta do Supergirl when I see if that's on. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a little